Salutations to all respected sadhakas. Together, let us salute the Paramatma, the Parabrahma Tattva, the Shruti Mata. Let all the Gurus be remembered and invited into our hearts, intellects, so that with their blessings we are able to study, understand, contemplate on the Upanishads properly, so that the expected goal of the realization of the Brahma Tattva as ourselves happens to us. Till that happens, we have to be continuous on the spiritual path. The spiritual path, both of not only the positive of studying Shastras and all, the other important aspect of not involving in anything which neutralizes this one. Only when we start fully establishing in the truth experience, then that with the kavacha of it, with the kavacha of the anubhuti, that in the Vyavaharik Jagat, fully knowing well that it is mithya, that we can just come participate without creating samsara. Just like the Paramatma, being established in his own Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Rupa, that he with his Maya Shakti doing the biggest colossal work of Srushti Sthiti Laya, and yet he is not bound. So when one establishes in the self or the truth, after that, even the bigger than the biggest seeming work of Srushti Sthitilaya also will not bind him. If one has not established in the self, even the small little mundane domestic work also, any small little thing will bind us. So, work small or big doing in the world outside is not at all a problem or issue. The problem or issue is, have we realized the essential truth behind the seen phenomenal world? Have we seen the self behind the pseudo selves of all the Anna Prana Mano Vijnana Ananda? So this is the basic question. So being very clear about it, like in whole Gita, that is the essence. If you do not know the truth, then whether you are fighting the war or not fighting, both are samsara. And if you are fighting the war, you are winning or losing, both are samsara only. But if you know the self, then fight war or don't fight war. Both is not issue. Therefore, you can choose whatever. Yatechasi tatha kuru. Even while war is fought, whether you victorious or defeated, still there is no problem. Therefore, yatechasi tatha kuru. You understood? So, whole Gita ka is sar hai. That's what he concludes also. Yasya na ahankrutah bhavaha buddhir yasya na lipyate hatva visaiman lokan nahanti na nibadyate. When there is no kartrutva bhava, when there is no phala sakti in the world, then there is no jiva, because jiva is only the karta and phala bhokta. When these two are not there, jiva is not there, then it is not a karma to bind. Again, what is karma? Karta doing karma for a phala. That is bondage. No, there is no karta, no phala sakti. Therefore, there is no karma bandhana. Anything done or not done. That's a very, very subtle thing, which if we can click, if it can click to us, and always we are in that mood of trying to be the self and allowing the outer things to happen, then we are really understanding what is spirituality. To come back to the same point, the main point, the question is not outside what big work you are doing or achieving you are doing or not. Is it not? Many people have come and many have done so many things, achieved so many things. Kings came, samrats came, prime minister, presidents came, scientists, doctors came. So many fields, they're all coming, going. And the work also seems to happen. And no work done by anyone is also permanent. What is important is each of them, how much they are near to their own inner self. And those who are established in the self, then basically through them, the Loka Kalyana work alone happens. Other than that, when they are involved in the world, they are not bound by it. So the main point is therefore, let us not get tempted by, enchanted by the expression of the Maya in the form of this world, worldly goals, worldly achievements. Is it not? And we are just enchanted by the achievements of this world. But there are higher worlds also are there. And Yaksha Kinnaradi Lokas, Sargadi Lokas, Brahma Loka. Even they also are endful with all its glittering and all. Hmm. Once it ends, then we feel we are empty because that is what we thought as goal. Yeah, we achieved it also, but it is not permanent. It has ended. Therefore, again emptiness. Like a president of a nation. If he thinks being a president of nation is the ultimate goal, those 5 years he will be very in the highest mood of happiness. But once it is over, then the X is added to him. Then who will call him? Who will? So all that pain, no more a president is so much. But imagine he is already a Brahmagnani. I am Brahman. Inside the experience is clear. Then the president post came. It is only as Alankara, nothing special. And that is over and nothing is lost because I am in myself. And just imagine a crorepati. So any number of crores he has. That money is not permanent. Money is such a maya, it goes on depending on the sevis and all, up and down, up and down. And any multi-billionaire also in one go can fall to any place, you know, or any investment gone wasted, or any of the loss has happened. So that dukkha inside. But if he knows that he is the self already, then the playing the play of industrialist or moneyed person, in which sometimes the loss, sometimes the gain, which is a part of the world. World is like a wave, and a wave has both the crests and the troughs. They complement each other. And without the trough, how can their value be there for crest? Without the crest, how can it will have the value for the trough? So too, the world is like a wave. Ups and downs at the individual level and total level are there. Both way, individual total level, the up is the birth and growth. The down is after peak summit achieved, slowly decaying and disappearing one day. So the wave is born, it goes up to a peak level, and slowly it becomes subdued and then it disappears. Entire Srishti is like that. In the Srishti, every jiva's coming, staying, going is like that. And in his life, every day comes and goes, and every day brings a variety of the Sukha, Dukkha, Labha, Hani, Jaya, Parajaya, and the Mana, Apamana goes. The G20 summit, all those two great leaders of the all over the world in their own big chartered special huge aircrafts. When they were coming, it was so surprised to see yesterday. Each one coming अपने बड़ा aircraft में लेकर. So received, welcomed, staying in all hotels. Fantastic thing they will do for 2 days in so many deliberations, meetings, outcomes. But after 2 days it will end. Everybody go back to their nation. Then they will be retired also. Somebody else will come. So the outer worldly tamasha goes on going. But inside, who is what with himself? Is it not important? And that becoming extraordinary in the world from the zero level. Again, from that extraordinary, again go to zero level. It goes on. So this viveka when we have, and then not valuing too much the outer thing, leave it to the totality is God's grace to begin with. Inside, when we aim at our own self, In the discovery of self, thereafter you do anything, it is a blessing to the world. And the one who is really realized self, he will promote that only. That is what exactly the topic we are going to study today in our Taittiriya. Etat samagayan naste means wahi hai baat. So, in short, what it is, the meaning is not how much we have achieved outside or not. Don't look at that with comparison. Okay, because outer achievements, none of them are staying permanently there. Is it not? Like I made a good painting. How long it will last? Maybe 10 years, 20 years, 100 years. Gaya, I made a building. How long it will last? I started a industry. अब कब तक रहेगा? कौन सा चीज टिक कर रहता है इस जगत में बताओ? वही तो कह रहे हैं. The whole creation of the Lord itself is not permanent. In that, the small little achievements of you and I, how can they be? The action done will end. The result of that will end. The sukha dukkha coming out of that is will end. The sukhi dukkha also comes and goes and ends. If we are holding on to that, so we are not wise, we are otherwise. So our life will be the up and down. That's a very surface, superficial level of life. Like on the ocean, the surface, superficial level, water alone becomes the crust and trough. Trough goes through that ups and downs. But the water in the bottom, it is stable, pristine, infinite being. So do those who are in the outer worldly attention, attentiveness, up and down samsara. But those who have gone within themselves, they are the stable state of the self in that bliss and beatitude. All other things chalo chalta rehta hai. They're all, have only that much relative reality, that too, as much we give. The more we give importance, the more it appears to be. If not given, nothing. Like the whole country. How many are giving importance to G20? जितना दे रहे वही लोग throughout the day they'll be attending the news. The others, those who are not at all, know what is G, what is 20, why they meet, what is the agenda, what is the outcome of it at each country level, total world's level. If somebody is not at all interested, he will enjoy Saturday, Sunday, chuttiya mil gaye. But by somebody is giving value to it or not giving, that program will go on its own pace. So therefore, Srushti has its own pace to go, catering to the totality. How much you value it, depending on your position, don't value it. On that, its influence on us. But in both cases, we can compromise with our own inner self or we can mind it. Those who have learned the art of minding the self, thereafter, wherever they are placed, Jahi Vidhi Rakhe Ram, Tahi Vidhi Rahiye, that is all outer thing. Inside, I am at the feet of the Lord Rama. The outside, whatever work he gives to me or to anyone, hone do. Like the lakhs and lakhs of monkeys went with Rama. Now, who is given what work is Rama Icha. But every one of them inside having the bhakti at the feet of Rama is their Icha. When the outer one we leave to Rama Icha, we are liberated there. Inside with our Icha, when we have surrendered at the feet of the Rama, then we are liberated inside. Is it not? Bhakti ki bhasha mein. Vedanta is same. In Rama we say is Parabrahma. You know, that Etat Samagayan Naste and all that we study is, that's what the topic which we are going to see. So maybe that way through the study of Upanishads intensify our longing to discover and be one with the inner truth, the reality, first and foremost. Rest all has its own place, importance, but never anything permanent. Let us play in those things later on, after discovering the self as a sport. If not, the self is kept away if we only seek the outer things. We may achieve them, but none of them can last permanently. Therefore, we'll have to lose it and back to zero level of that achievement or happiness. Let us study entire day all our shastras, Taittiriya Upanishad, maybe 2 or 3 more classes maximum. Even tomorrow it may conclude. We don't know. As we enter into it, we'll know it. Is hafte mein to we'll be able to do. Then our Yoga Darshanam, beautiful sutras going on, giving us such a clear picture, clubbing with Vedantic thought. In Mundaka Upanishad also, beautiful mantras of how the tattva is experienced, what outer inner sadhanas have to be done for our own preparing for the inner flights. What a beautiful shlokas that are going. Excellent means excellent. Hmm. न चक्षुषा पश्यतेनैव वाचा ज्ञानप्रसादेन विशुद्धसत्त्वः ततस्तु तं पश्यति निष्कलं ध्यायमानः एषोऽणुरात्मा चेतसा वेदितव्यः नान्यैर्देवैः तपसा कर्मणा वा. These shlokas are so clear, so perfect. We are studying it. Then our Gita, what a beautiful Vishwarupa Darshanam. Today we will see in the Vishwarupa, everyone including Drona Bhishma entering into the Lord's mouth. Arjuna gets frightened. That shlokas we are seeing. Evening our Bhagavatam, how wonderful it is today. We will enjoy the Vasudevji getting the yajna performed with the help of all the Ritviks and all. What an enchanting thing. As you have the G summit happening in the Rajdhani of the nation, you can see a equally big program, both happening in our Bhagavatam and Ramayana. In Bhagavatam, Vasudevji doing that Mahayagna with the help of every of the rishis of the time. And in our Adhyatma Ramayana, we are enjoying the Sri Rama Bhagavan's Pattabhishekam after his victory over Ravana, concluding that Varanasi and coming back. तो क्या बढ़िया है देखो पूरे दिन भर if you are true serious sincere and have the ability of concentration total application while applying ourselves concentratedly in these texts and classes and subjects, there is nothing but gain of knowledge, gain of devotion, gain of purity, gain of joy, nothing else. Let us try with our first one. Today we will be beginning our Bhrugu Valli Parayanam. Om Athatrutiya Bhrugu Valli. Om Sahana Vavado Sahanau Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhrugurvai Varunihi Varunam Pitaramupasasara Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmeti Tasma Etat Provacha Annam Pranam Chakshushrotram Manovachamiti Tagum Hovacha Yato Va Imani Bhutani Jayante Yena Jata Nijivanti Yat Prayantyavisamvishanti तद्विजिज्ञासस्व तद्ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा अन्नं ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् अन्नाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते अन्नेन जातानि जीवन्ति अन्नं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा प्राणो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् प्राणाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते प्राणेन जातानि जीवन्ति प्राणं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगुं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsa Rushibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaji Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayinam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Om Jagatimavitум Galita Krutayo Vicharanti Mahamahasachalataha Ahimam Shurivatra Vibhasi Guru Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tannamami परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायने आग्नेवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि गुरुभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति द्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति द्वारा विश्व शांति कल्याण एकता सौभ्रातृत्व अभिवृद्धि प्राप्त्यर्थम अस्मिन् सनातन धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निश्चित समस्त कंकणबद्ध साधक भक्त सेवकानाम् अस्माकं सह पुनर् बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा शक्ति साधना संपदा सानुकूलता प्राप्ति द्वारा अस्मिन् दिव्य भव्य कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थम श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओम यस्मात् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः. यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते. ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः. नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेद तद्वक्तारमावेद आभीन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम्. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. ओम अथ तृतीया भृगुवल्ली दशमोऽनुभागः. ओम स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवं विद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य इमान् लोकान् कामान्निकामरूप्यनुसञ्चरन् एतत्सामगायन्नास्ते हा ऊहा ऊहा ऊ अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्गश्लोककृदहग्गश्लोककृदहग्गश्लोककृत् अहमस्मि प्रथमजारुतास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य नाभाहि यो मा ददाति स इदेव मा वाह. अहमन्नमन्नवदन्तमाद्मि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यभवाम सुवर्णज्योतिः य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषद. ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, if this much minimum chantings we don't do, we will never be familiar with the main original mantras. Without being aware of the original Vaidika Upanishadic mantra, how can we clearly understand the meaning of them? How many our commentaries we read, lectures we listen? Not only that, it is our bounden duty to sustain the great, grand, glorious, the Vaidika Upanishad Jnana Parampara, original. And that's possible only when daily we are in the chant of that and send those vibrations into the whole world. So taking that as duty every day, we are spending some time. And then to us also through this chanting, this mantra familiarity is always good for our brain also, to our mouth also while chanting, to our the ability of discrimination, the buddhi also. Because these Veda mantras invigorate or enliven or strengthen or instigate the thinking and contemplative mood, which is very essential in today's world of extreme Bhautikavada. Mm. And what more joy can be there in chanting the Veda mantras, which are the expression of the divinity, which have come up to us through this great, grand, glorious Rishi Parampara. So, even you also at home, every day keep a target. One, let us say, Valli of the Taittiriya, I'll chant every day. In 1 month's time, you can see in the 10 rounds how beautiful would be the mind tuned to. This is the only way, as long as we are alive, doing the things, protect ourselves from not allowing the worldliness too much into us, and protect ourselves from sustaining in this most inspirational ultimate goal of Paramatma through these mantra ucharana to begin with. Then some higher, little more advanced people are those who, along with the bhashya, they keep chanting. Some are more deeper are through the Bhashya every day 1 hour they are spending in the contemplation of those mantras. When this is done for a couple of years, the clarity comes regarding entire show of the bondage and liberation, which is coming to us after 3 4 years of our vigorous study, little now. With that clarity, we know what's moksha, how to achieve it, what's bondage, how to avoid it. At every moment, at this very moment, am I inclined to that type of doings in which I am getting bound, or I am inclined in doing those things by which I am getting out of bondage? That awareness at every moment is the highest achievement, which is a result and outcome of the thorough understanding of the meaning of the Upanishads, through that, the meaning and purpose of human life and evolution. All of that demands the cost, the price. The cost price is this one: being regular in classes, doing at home to the all three homeworks of chantings, studying in the Bhashyam, contemplating, meditating. Whoever is fully engrossed in it, at the every other thing's cost and price, they'll be given the most costliest, priceless commodity called as the moksha, Brahmananda. Like that you pay prachar throughout the world करने के लिए. So all the 1,000 delegates are given today the coupons, or they can have balance in their cells, so they can go to the entire huge shopping complex that's made in Pragati Maidan. They can select the things, then they can buy freely with the money given by India, Bharat Mata, and with their money, anything they want, they can buy. See, their priceless arrival of coming to India is exposing them to the whole culture of the whole country's different regions. It's a very fantastic thing to see outside. In the same way, when we stick to our own this style of spiritual sadhana, the reward is ecstatic, so beautiful. You can't even tell it to others because they can't understand. It is such a great joy. That's why ha who, that's what they do. Now coming to the topic, please remember, just as a bird's eye view, first Shiksha Valli gave us all Sanskrit Bhasha language and some of the upasanas without much of the Siddhanta Jnana, just to familiarize with. It's like the menu card reading. Then we are taken into the second Brahmananda Valli, in which the Brahma Tattva Vicharana is done, and Brahma is established. Parabrahma's Astitva with Satyam Jnanamanandam as Swarupa Lakshana. Then in the entire Bhrugu third Valli, with the Akhyayika, entire tapasyas are being trained to us so that we discover Paramatma. Toward the end, the entire Bhrugu 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10 were telling us in conclusion the essence of this Upanishad and all Upanishads and all Shastras and all spiritual sadhana. These four Anuvakas must be thoroughly, deeply understood. Annam na nindyat, prano annam ityadi, then annam na parichakshita, then annam urvita, then the beautiful one which we are dealing from last 10 days, the kanchana vasado pratyachakshita, all of them with Vasha deeply studied and kept in our heart. So all that we have seen, even the most important sadhana of the outer world when we are doing the upasana silently inside us, that everything, this Manushi is also a Brahman only, Daivi also is Brahman only. So in that way, nobody knows outside when we are dealing outside that inside we are doing the Daivi and Manushi Samagnya of the Upasana of the Brahman in and through everything. With this 5 plus 6 plus 6, the 17 as samples are examples. Is it not? The Kshema iti vachi or Trupraditi Vrushtau or Tat Pratistheti Upasita. All these are samples. With the help of them, all the time I was outside when we are in the world, while doing the work outside, everything is Brahman. That thought is maintained like a devotee. Maintains the thought is, though I am dealing with the world, everything is my own Rama Bhagavan, my own Krishna Bhagavan, my own Shiva Bhagavan. Is it not? So to a Brahma Jignasu knows everything is Brahman theoretically, but that's not enough. Practically also, you have to do the upasana so that the while interacting in the world with the faculties and the objects, minimum should be impact of them as impressions without creating any dent in our knowledge that everything is Brahman. सब ब्रह्म है और ये जो दिख रहा है जगत थोड़ा सा व्यवहार के लिए उतना ही सत्ता रखता है. To maintain that sarvam brahmamayam re, sarvam khalu idam brahma, that's what is the basis. Therefore Brahma upasana we are doing outside. Once you are free from the outer obligation, just try to be contemplating to be established in the Brahma. For a long time when it is done, inside also Brahma Anubhuti, outside also. है ना, that अंदर रामा बाहर रामा जो देखो सो राम ही राम. For a Rama Bhakta through Rama Upasana. Just like a bhogi, inside and outside, always bhoga vrittis, bhoga vicharana, bhoga prayatna and bhoga involvement. ओके ना, आज के दिन सब ऐसे बन गए, अपने व्यक्तित्व को भोगी रोगी बना के रखे हैं. व्हाट इज सजेस्टेड हियर इज मेकिंग अवर इनर एंड आउटर व्यक्तित्व योगी, wherein the goal is param brahma. So all of that was taught. Now we have come up to the level of the Pariyenam Riyante Dvishanta Sapatnaha Pariye Priyaha Bhratruvyaha. After that, now the last two topics are there for us to discuss according to our own Bhashya Pustakam. So where we have reached is the Prashnottari was exhaustively done. The conclusion of all of that is this one: Ki Shruti Upapatti Bhyam Cha Siddham Atmanaha Asamsaritvam. So this is what we have concluded yesterday. The self is never became samsari. Therefore, self doesn't need the realization. Exactly this is the topic today we will be seeing in our Yoga Darshanam also as a bhashya to this 17th Sutra conclusion as well as the 18th in the second Sadhana Padam. Same, they go parallel. All our 6 texts going parallelly systematically. So, Tatsmat Shruti Upapatibhyam Siddham. What is that? Atmanaha Asamsaritvam. The pure self has never become the samsari. Okay. Then came the very important topic ki ekatvat cha. Katham ekatvam idi uchyate. Another reason for the self being not a samsari is self being one without second. Katham ekatvam, how that oneness, this is what in fact the entire Brahma Valli we have studied. Ki sayaschayam purushe yascha savaditye sayekaha, through the Shruti. And then through the Upapatti logic, we have completely thoroughly, right from the beginning of what is there, Ki tasmadva tasmad atmana akasha sambhuta and all that. First, we have studied Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Okay. Other than the Satyam Jnanam Ananta Brahma, naturally is Asatyam and the Jadam and then Santam, which is unreal. First, having established the Brahman as Satyam Jnana Anantam, now from him only the world which we are seeing has come up in the sequence right from the Akasha onwards. And the logic exhaustively studied again. If I remind it, then again it will be 2 3 days of introduction. The Karana is Anusyuta and the Karya. Is it not? The cause is always there in the effect. So the cause being Brahman is very much there in the entire effect. So if you see the effects of your drishti, then the drishti is of multiplicity leading to samsara. But if you see the karana being one, there is no samsara even though there may be the vyavahara. Therefore, a sample example is given here of the duality. The duality is the Surya, Aditya, then the Purusha, the Jiva, me. And the three common relations between these two is what? The Surya is the Samashti, Surya is the Karana, Surya is the Ishvara. Purusha is what? Purusha is Vyashti, Purusha is a Karya, and Purusha is a Jiva. Okay, so a set example is given. Both these, the Karana, the Karya, the Samashti and the Vyashti, the Ishvara and Jiva, in both of them, there is only one Purusha. That is what? Sahayacha ayam Purushe, yahacha asau aditye sa ekaha. Why? Because both of them have come from same Karana. This is as good as the Tattvamasi Mahavakyopadesha. Then what is the actual position of these two? Aditya as well as Purusha, they are superimposed on one substratum which is neither the cause nor the effect. That one substratum is we. Therefore, I am the cause, I am the effect, I am beyond both of them. This is the ultimate Brahmagyan. Understood? So that is the meaning of ekatva between the Purusha as well as Aditya. In the sense, in any multiple things that are seen in the world, the seen multiplicity only at the superficial projection level. The substratum behind all of them is one Paramatma Tattva only, Sa Ekaha. That's what is said. When this ekata is discovered, then how it is came, that's what he said. Next mantra, saya evam vita asmad lokat pretya etamannamaya atmana upasankramya. Se lekar, the whole chanting is up to havu ahamannam. Up to this is in this mantra. Of this mantra, now we have to study the Bhashyam. सयश्चायम पुरुषे यश्चा सावादित्य स एकः. इस मंत्र का ऑलरेडी हो चुका है इन द सेकंड वल्ली. सो भगवान भाष्यकर हैज नॉट गिवन द भाष्यम हियर पूर्ववत ऐसा कहकर ही लेफ्ट इट, बट वी जस्ट रिमाइंडेड आवरसेल्व्स हाउ फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग कारण रूपी परब्रह्म बीइंग permeating everywhere. See from the karana drishti, then there is one only. Like the mud is a karana for all number of parts. If you see from the karya drishti, the each part is different from other one in terms of its sizes, its utilities, etc. But if you see from the cause standpoint, all of them are ekaha. So in a small जितना छोटा जो पैसे बचाने के लिए हम बनाते हैं ना, वो इतना बड़ा घड़ा in which you put the rice. So if you see the size of them, utility of them are different. But the same mud, sayaschayam purushe, in the small that mud से बना हुआ वो जो गल्ला पेटी जो भी कहते हो, and the same bigger one in which you save your rice of 1,000 kgs, both of them एक aha. Is it not only one Paramatma is there, one mud is there in this and that? So the Karana Drishti we have to develop. कार्य का ओनली व्यावहारिक इंपॉर्टेंस देना चाहिए, मोर देन दैट नथिंग. इन व्यवहार आल्सो ओनली धर्म. Don't fall down to the level of seeking ananda in the karya jagatu. Then we are lost. And the ananda is in the karana only. That karana is Brahman. That Brahman is me. Therefore I am ananda swarupa. To reach to that experience, The dependency on the world for ananda, we have to get reduced. How? By giving importance to karana, not the karya. That is what sayaschayam purushescha savadite sayakaha. So from the karana drushti, it being oneself, therefore there is no samsaritva. That was the conclusion in the earlier mantra. Now comes कि asma saya evam with अस्माद लोकात प्रेत्या. ये सेंटेंस भी पहले आ चुका है. तो सह यह एवं वित. The one who in this way through the systematic study of Upanishad and the contemplation comes to this conclusion that what is there in the Karana, what is there in the Karya is one Brahman alone. The Mula Karana for both of them is one. Sayaschayam, Saya evam vit. The one who knows like this, what will happen to him? Asmat lokat pretya. Means his vision now will be no more like the earlier vision of his own or like the vision of all the common people, wherein he is separate from the Parabrahma, separate from the totality, isolated as an individual, lost in the Panchakoshas with its identity with them, and in the effort to propitiate the five koshas, he is just looking at the world, liking something or somebody, hating somebody or something, then doing all the actions to get what is liked and get rid of what is not liked. All this loka, the samsara loka, the bandhana loka, the avidya loka, the ajnana loka, asmad loka, pretya. He rises above all this nonsense. This asmad lokat pretya is a most enchanting and beautiful thing, which is earlier also came, that time also we discussed exhaustively. Here also, just in a browsing manner, we are seeing it. Unless we develop the vision of Brahma Tattva from this binding loka, we cannot rise above. Is it not? And unless we rise above and stay here only, we can't avoid getting tossed up in dukkha. Like, a simple example, but very tough to practice. Okay, as long as in my mind, for anything, there's a little kamana, I can never avoid the disturbance in the mind. I can never enjoy the calm and quiet and serene and peaceful mind. Is it not? थोड़ा सा आ गया कोई भी विचारणा कामना, नो शांति नहीं रहेगी. वो इट कैन बी द सिलिएस्ट थिंग कि वेर इज द टूथ पिक और वेर इज द ईयरबड और वेर इज अ कॉफी कप. इतना काफी है. थोड़ा सा मन में जो कामना आ गया तो चंचलता होकर दुखी हो जाता. इन द सेम वे, as long as we are in this asmat loka, the familiar world of upaditadatmya, please take it for granted that you will be guaranteed to be in misery only, in the disturbance only. We gave a lot of examples yesterday. Ki wherever there is gandagi, in that gandagi we are there, that smell is ours. Is it not? What is the way to avoid that gandagi? Asmat lokat pretya. See, outer physical gandagis, by physically traveling, we can go away. And a place is there, the dustbins are there, the dumping yards are there, or these fish markets are there, or in nalas are there. When one goes through that, such a that for half a minute, 1 minute, or any for factories emulsions are there, or they leave all this very bad odor. कुछ कुछ फैक्ट्री इतना गंदा बदबू आता है ना. When you go through those गुड़ बनाने वाले फैक्ट्री, द molasses, उसका स्मेल, इट इज अनबेरेबल. So too the skin factories, when you go through, unbearable. So how to get out of that asmat lokat pretya? You go away from that loka. In the same way, this outer loka, that way physically you can go travel and par kar do. But inner wala kaisa kare? Wherever we are, where we go, there we are. Therefore, inside also, by bringing into our life continuously the Brahma Tattva alone, like खाते भी राम कहो, पीते भी राम कहो, सोते भी राम कहो, राम राम राम. In the same way, खाते पीते सोते ब्रह्म 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 कहो. So then the earlier familiar but nonsensical loka of worldliness, pretya, we have to go beyond. Give importance to this sentence. Asmad lokat pretya. That is our goal. By staying at the place of stinking, if we say we should not suffer, it won't happen. You have to go away from there. So, too, by staying at the familiar world of dvandva, dvaita, upaditadakya, limitation, causing the mind to become active with Rajoguna, having all the desires, passions, greeds in that, and working in the life under its influence and getting bound both by Kartrutva, the Karma Phala, and Karma Phala Bhoga. This is what all of us are knowingly or unknowingly are doing so far and adding to our bondage, life after life. Asmad Lokat Pretya. So the three sentences, beautiful. One is Sayashayam Purushe Yashasavaditya Sayeka. That knowledge is to be experienced. Such person, Saya Evam Veda Asmad Lokat Pretya. Then he will be the one who knows this by experience is no more in this familiar world of individualization, isolation, then duality, then variety of samsara. Second sentence. Third one. Then what will happen to him? That is what is the mantra. We have seen earlier also, we have seen yesterday also. Ki etam annamaya atmana upasankramya ityadi ityadi. What is the meaning of this etam annamaya atmana upasankramati or upasankramya? The three things we told you. First is what? Within ourselves, from the gross to the subtle we go. Second is from the Vesti to the Samasti we go. Third, in the Samasti also, crossing from the grossest to the subtlest, we reach to the Brahman. That's the meaning of Etam Annamaya Atmana Upasangramati Pranamaya Ityadi. So my individual Annamaya, I just forego in the service of the total Annamaya. Clear? So to the Pranamaya, to the total. So one side, Vyashti ko Samashti में मिलाने का साधना हो रहा है. सेकंड साइड द ग्रास को सटल में मिलाने का साधना हो रहा है. So working at the subtler level, working at the total level, at a sadhana level. Okay. Finally, Etam Anandamaya Mahatmanuma Sangramati is one. He is always in his own Ananda Sarvup Tattva and he is in this world only to give Ananda to all. He is no more in the earlier levels. So that is the meaning of Upasankramanam. Upa near Samyak Kramanam means was very far away from it, came near to it, stayed in it, stayed for some time, then gone beyond to the next level. Yesterday's meetings, I was seeing all the 20 presidents who have come to India, or different heads. It was so interesting. The flight will land, then it takes 10 minutes for them to come out of it. So when they come out, our Indian delegation receives them. Then there's a Nritya Pradarshana kept at every place to welcome them in a traditional manner. After that is done, then slowly they take car and go to their own place of stay. Meeting is today, tomorrow, but you can't come today. A day pehle aana hai. So, Upasankramya. They took off from their countries. They landed in India. They have given formal, beautiful, traditional welcome. But none of them are goals. They have to go and stay in their own place of accommodation. But they have not come here to enjoy the hotel. Today, again, the main purpose of the meeting. In the same way, we discover the Brahman in the Annamaya Kosha, but we don't stay there. We see the Karana of the Annamaya, we come to the Pranamaya, then we discover that the Pranamaya is the Brahman. In that way, one by one, like this delegation, 100 things they do, but the only purpose behind the heart is through this meeting, the economical tie-up and any other industrial tying up, anything has to happen for that purpose. Each country with their own selfish goals and total universal goals they have come in their mind. So they'll have bilateral meetings, they'll have total meetings. There's a lot of discussion going on. So there is inner, deeper goal for everyone. But outside, the formalities are there, the pleasantries are, welcomes are there, ribbon cuttings are there, taking them to temples are there, cultural shows are there, dinner is there. There's some outer thing. So to inside is our Brahma Tattva we have to experience. Further, in the sadhana part, one by one kosha, we are transcending. That is the meaning of Etamannamaya Ityadi. Because it was already told, Bhagavan Bhashyakara is not giving Bhashyam, but we have summarized it. Now go to the next topic. So how he concludes this topic? Saya evam with say lekar up to Etama Anandamaya Matmana Upasankramati. For this, Bhagavan's Bhashya is only this much. He says, Annamaya Adi Kramena. आनंदमयम आत्मानम, देखो उपसंक्रम्य, सी अन्नमयादि क्रमेण, अन्नमय आदि क्रमेण, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम अन्नमयो आनंदमयम अप टू द आनंदमयम आत्मानम उपसंक्रम्य. So here the Atma Tadatmya from the Annamaya slowly through the intellectual logic also, through the Shruti authority also, through the practice also, one is transcending, and he came up to the Anandamaya, not Kosha, but Anandamaya Atma. पहुंच गए. This all when we start doing, we'll be able to very, very clearly understand. एक भी conquer कर ले to discover ourselves to be the pranamaya kosha beyond annamaya, the further journey becomes easier. Somehow, in a practice of 5 6 years time, through conscious deliberate attempts, if you can rise above aham dehosmi annamayosmi to aham pranosmi pranamayosmi, it's a great, great, great breakthrough. And like in this G20, as the slogan is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, if the individual country should work for the total world, that understanding, if it comes, if the shackles that I am an isolated nation, only my progress has to be seen. If the shackles are broken, the whole world will be different in a moment's time. Uh, That would have been a great achievement if these two stupid fellows also have come from China and Russia. But both of them are very selfish fellows. They didn't join. So therefore, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is already a slogan now. 100% it cannot be done because of the backing away of these. But whatever they are there, they are doing. But that shackle breaking. You rule your country as you being the president or whatever. That whole thing, but when it comes to global level, we are one. Let our thinking be like that. In that case also, if you cannot help mutually each other, at least don't trouble each other. See the resolutions today, you will see high level in none of the past and future meetings, you will have those resolutions because that shackles are being broken, that we are isolated individuals. That is a whole, you understand, the whole universe, especially our solar system, is going through this isolated individualization to the globalization. That's how in some countries such great leaders are have come who are thinking for the total world's oneness. When I was seeing this UAE and the Turkey people coming, मैं तो इतना surprised था कि they are against India, against the universal oneness. Even they are impressed and they also have come. It's very enchanting. It is the whole world is working like that. That you have to, if you want to grow together. If you isolate and want to grow individually at the cost of the others, you will be suppressed. You can see the Britain, what is the position of it. ऊपर ऊपर हंस रहे हैं लेकिन अंदर कितना टेंशन है. इंडिया देखो, you are talking for the globalization, therefore universalization, universal growth. We are growing. Here also, if you can break through one shackle, then the other things appear obvious. First shackle we have to break. So that is the meaning of this. Annamayam upaksankramya, sorry. Annamaya adi kramena, anandamayam atmanam upasankramya. So through the logic, through the Shruti Mata's authority, through our own practice, when we come up to the Anandamaya Atma, beyond Ananda Kosha, just like the Bhrugu has reached through his tapasya. He did the tapasya. His father Guru has given him what he has given, Upalabdhisthana, as well as the 3 tests he gave. Annam Pranam Chakshu Shrotra Manovachamiti. Then he said, Yato Vaimani Bhutani Ena Jatani Jivanti At Prenda. ये सारा जिन्होंने जैसा किया एग्जैक्टली अगर हम करेंगे तो वी रीच टू आत्मा, द ब्रह्म आत्मा और आनंद आत्मा हो गया. एतत् सामगायन आस्ते. Having reached to that Anandamaya Brahma Ahamasmi Anubhuti, this is the Samagana singing Desa Jivan Mukta rebels. Okay, this is what the meaning he gave. Now, he is not satisfied. Bhagavan Adi Shankara, again, he just browses through the important aspects which were discussed off late in the latest recent portion, connecting with the entire Upanishad and the purpose of human evolution. Beautiful sentences. They are very precise. We also try to understand it precisely only. He says, ki satyam jnanam iti asyaha ruchaha arthaha vyakhyataha. Okay. So in that Brahma Vidapnoti Param is the Sutra Vakya. That Sutra Vakya belongs to the Yajurveda Brahmana because this Taittiriya Upanishad belongs to Krishna Yajurveda. Okay. To that Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda Brahmana, a quotation from the Rigveda mantra has come. That Rigveda mantra quotation to substantiate Yajurveda Brahmana was the Satyam Jnanavanantam Brahma. So this mantra has got the three portions. One is Satyam Jnanavanantam Brahma, second is Yoveda Nitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman, third one is So Shnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipashita. And these are the three things. So among these three things, the Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, this is which is a Rucha Vakya, iti asyaha Ruchaha Artha Vyakhyataha. The Satyam Jnanam Ananta Brahma, this mantra of the Rigveda has been Vyakhyataha explained. That also Vistarena, exhaustively. Where was it explained, sir? Ki tat vivarana bhutaya anandavalya. By the Anandavalli, the Brahmavalli, the Brahmanandavalli, the second Valli, whose purpose was to give the Vivarana exhaustively about the Satyam Jnana Anantam Brahma. So, how the whole, right from the beginning, what is Satya, what is Jnana, what is Ananta explained, and how from that the Akasha, the arrival, and in that Akasha, the arrival, up to the Annarasamaya Purusha, and into that Purusha, the Stuladi, the entry of the Parabrahma, all of that was only to prove Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And where is all that inquiry is happening? In the heart only. Therefore, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam also is taken care of. In that second Bhrugu we can understand. Brahmananda Valli. Okay. Now, second one क्या हुआ कि the Falashruti था ना, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is the ultimate goal to be reached. Where it is Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyuman. Now, once one reaches it, in that Rigveda quotation for the Yajurveda Brahmana, the Falashruti was beautifully given. What is the Falashruti? Ki Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschita. By that Vipaschit, by that Jnani, Sarvan Kaman, all the Kamanas, Saha Ashnute, at one go, by being one with that Brahman. Saha Brahmana means by being one with the Brahma Tattva. Ashnute, he enjoys Sarvan Kaman, all the experience of the objects of the world, Saha simultaneously. At that time, we have done exhaustively. But here the Bhashakara says this is yet to be fully satisfactorily explained. He says, Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschita iti tasya Phalavachanasya. And the phala of the discovery of Satyam Jnanavanantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Hridaya में उसका फला वचन से अर्थ विस्तारः न उक्तः. So the Vistruti of the phala of Soshtude Kaman Sarvan is not explained. Okay. What is the meaning of Artha Vistaraha of the Falashruti which is not explained, which was expected to be explained? So Satyam Jnanavananta Brahma बोल दिया, Yoveda Nitam Guhayam बोल दिया, लेकिन Sahasrudek Sarvan Kaman not explained. So what is the topic that have to be discussed? Only mentioning या भाष्यकार कहते हैं पूरा डिटेल नहीं बोलते, but we will discuss. He says कि केते, so saha ashnute sarvan kaman saha, that is the meaning. Which are the kamans? Kete means what are those kamanas? Then kim vishayaha sarve kamaha. What is the meaning of all the kamanas that are experienced by the Brahmagnani simultaneously? Then katham va brahmanaha saha samashnute. Can you explain logically by being a Brahmagnani how he will experience all of them along with the Brahmanubhuti? Iti, in this way, etat, this topic, vaktavyam, has to be explained. Iti idam, in this way, here, idanim arabhyate, this portion is taken up for the study. So therefore, mainly the two topics. Which are the Vishayas? which have become kaman, which he ashnute. Which are the Vishayas which have become kaman and which he ashnute the Brahmagnani. Second is, what is the meaning of Brahmana Saha? Saha Brahmana Vipaschita Vipaschita ज्ञानी. तो ब्रह्मणा सह का अर्थ क्या है? ये दोनों टॉपिक ब्रह्म के साथ साथ सारे विषयों का अनुभव होएगा उनको, और विषय क्या है ये दोनों जो फलश्रुति में बताया, ये टॉपिक यहाँ टच किया जा रहा है कि हियर ब्यूटिफुल थिंग इज व्हाट to bring that point into our understanding, as we did it 3 minutes 4 minutes back. Bhashyakara himself also does this summarizing of what has been developed so far, especially in this third Bhrugu Valli. Listen carefully. First, ki tatra means, just let me remind you of what we have studied, ki pita putra akhyayikayam. In that Pita Putra Akhyayika of the story of the third Bhrugu Valli, the Anuvakas from 1 to 6, what was developed? Ki Purva Vidya Shesha Bhutayam. Purva Vidya means the Brahma Vidya which was taught. In the Brahmananda Valli, Shesha Bhuta means something which was supposed to be discussed, which was not discussed there. What is that? The Brahma Vidya ko anubhav mein lane wala sadhana. And what is that? Ki tapaha. That tapasya. What is tapasya? Brahma Vidya sadhanam. That Brahma Vidya sadhanam, the tapasya, is uktam, described or explained through this akhyayika between Bhrugu and the Varuna. So, Pita Putra Akhyayikayam, ये भृगु एंड वरुण आख्यायिका के द्वारा पूर्व विद्या शेष भूतायाम, that which is left out in the second Valli after the entire Brahma Vidya is taught. What is left out? Brahma Vidya sadhanam. What is the sadhanam? Tapaha. That is uktam. So that is covered in that Pita Putra Akhyayika. हो गया. Now, continuation of that, what was taught, which was very very essential, कि प्राणादेहे आकाशांतस्य च, प्राण से लेकर आकाश तक. So the set of 2 to the 3 sets were told. So prano va annam shariram annadam. Then apo va annam jyotirannadam. Akasho va annam prithvi annadam. This is what we discussed it exhaustively. Pranadehe akashantasya cha, be attentive. Karyasya anna annadatvena vinyogaha cha uktaha. Anna annadatva vinyoga uktaha means what? Ki the set of two have indicated that the one Parabrahma alone anna annad के रूप में बंटवारा हुआ है for the sake of व्यवहार. है ना? इसका वो अन्न है, उसका ये अन्न है. What is the meaning of that? There is somebody who is beyond these two, who is playing the role of Anna and Annada, which we just now saw again 15 minutes back. Anna means the world of experiencer called as objective world. Annada is the experiencer, the subject. So the bhokta, then bhogya. The drashta, the drishya. The object, subjective and the object. So the subject object इस डिफरेंशिएशन में इस ज्ञान का विनियोग हुआ. विनियोग होने का अर्थ क्या है कि द कॉमन एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट व्हिच वी आर हैविंग, that is derived to be the superimposition on one common substratum. That was the purpose of that anna the set of 3 that are given, set of 2, the 3 sets that are given. So what is covered so far in the Bhrugu Valli? One is Akhyayika between Pita Putra. What is the purpose of that? Telling us Tapa. What is Tapasya? Brahma Vidya Sadhanam. That Brahma Vidya was taught in the second Valli but not Sadhanam. So to tell that it has been given. In the second portion of this Bhrugu Valli, what is covered is Anna Annadatvena Vinyogaha. Expression of the Brahman alone for the sake of the world in the form of Anna and Annada. And all that is studied. And we have also seen कि अन्ना अन्नाद दोनों एक ही परब्रह्म पे आधारित है. इस बात को समझने से क्या फलश्रुति, that also we have seen. सय एतदन्नमन्ने प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतिष्ठते अन्नवान् अन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या. So repeatedly that falashruti also was given. So the two topics are covered. One is Brahma Vidya Sadhana Tapasya. Second is this Jnana Vinyoga in the Anna Annada dichotomy for the sake of Vyavaharik Srushti. So Anna Annadattvena Vinyoga cha Uktaha. Then the third one taught discussed exhaustively in this Bhrugu so far is Brahma Vishaya Upasanani. So the 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6, the 17 upasanas are taught. So the 17 upasanas are taught, then Anna the Vinyoga is taught, and before that the Tapasya is also taught. Okay. So through Tapasya, like Bhrugu, we have to discover the self. देन उसका विनियोग उस ज्ञान का विनियोग हमें अन्न अन्नाद में करना चाहिए by what knowing that anna annada one parabrahma paramatma only to substantiate that to remove even the reminiscences of anything as real the brahma upasanas are told to be practiced 17 of them हो गया now he is taking up the topic which he started what is it कि फलश्रुति is not explained is it not. So, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma explained, Yuvedanitam Guhayam Paramivavani explained, Saha Ashtute Sarvan Kaman Sa Brahmana. This is the most important sentence of the Upanishad, uncovered so far. In one way it's covered, but even Shankara Bhagavan is not satisfied. Now he is explaining here. Just very simple, two thoughts only, not even more. How he starts it? Ki, Ye cha sarve kamaha. Now be careful. You have to very subtly attentive and conscious to grasp what is being said. Before saying so, main sentence let us understand and find the question in it. Then to that question, this is the answer. The main sentence is Saha means that Brahma Jnani. Ashnute means enjoys. Sarvan means all. Kaman means object of the world. Saha along with simultaneously. Brahmana Vipaschita means by being one with the Brahman. So the Brahmagnani, by being one with Brahman, experiences all the objects of the world at one go. Okay. In this, the biggest question is what? Ki, how much ever a gluttonous a person may be, how much ever habituated for the enjoyment of the worldly things through faculties, it is impossible for everyone to experience all the objects of the senses with all the senses at one time. है कि नहीं नारायण practically it is impossible. How come? But the sentence of Shruti Mata is Saha. Saha word to use ही किया माता ने Shruti Mata. No, you can't deny that. How is it possible? That's the question. And why that such a question has to be taken seriously and understood? Because that is the most tempting thing in the entire Brahma Vidya. Why do you say it is so? Because all of us are wanting to enjoy the worldly desires. That is why we are samsari. And we are not able to leave that worldliness and go for Brahma Vidya. That's what everybody is. Now, if at all it is proved logically that by sequence, one after another, the objects of the world which you are enjoying, all of that put together in one go only you will experience, let us say. Will we not go for it? As we gave the example at the time of discussing these mantras at that time. You need 10 objects to buy. No, each one is in different shop. अब उस गली में जाओ वो मिलेगा इस गली में जाओ कितना घुमक्कड़ इतना घूमना पड़ता था बट नाउ होल वर्ल्ड हैज गॉट इंडिया में गली गली में सुपर मार्केट्स हैव कम है ना वन सुपर मार्केट यू गो earlier 10 shops we had to go for 10 things here in one supermarket you go everything is you need not go to second shop only. Now, why people are attracted to that? Because everything is available there. In the same way, the retail sukha bhoga of the world, in it wholesale, it is there in Brahman. If that point is convinced, then everyone who has studied it will go for Brahma Vidya. सो सारा जो निद्रा से मिलने वाला आनंद, विषयों से मिलने वाला आनंद, देन द पावर एंड पोजीशन से मिलने वाला आनंद, सारा आनंद ब्रह्म में है. इफ वन कैन गेट कन्विंस्ड, then one goes for it. It was already achieved in one way. In the Ananda Mimamsa, we were taken to those two steps. First step was the highest Ananda objective is Brahma Deva's Ananda. है ना, सही को ब्रह्मण आनंद याद है. Then second thing was told was this Brahmanaha Ananda means Brahmadeva Ananda means Hiranyagarbha Ananda means Creator's Ananda is only the sampluta of the oceanic waters. Little water of the ocean sprinkled. How much it is? That much alone is the Brahmadeva Ananda compared to the oceanic Ananda Parabrahma. One way that was explained, if you remember all that. Another thing is what? Logically, deeply, the thought now we are going to discuss is ki the entire ananda of the entire objective world with entire sense organs is included in Brahma Ananda. This was said in Gita also. We have discussed that the comparison with the well in the house as well as a river. यावान अर्थ उदपाने सर्वत संप्लुतोदके तावान सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानता. सेम थिंग इज हियर. यहीं से वहां बताया कृष्ण भगवान ने. यावान अर्थ उदपाने in your well in the house, yavan artha, as many as prayojanas you are able to fulfill, tavan sarvata samplutodake, all of them and much more are achieved in the sarvata sampluta udagastaniya, let us say river. In the same way, yavan sarveshu vedeshu, tavan brahmanasya vijanatah. In all the Vedas, whatever the result that are promised through various yajnas, upasanas of this world and that world, all of them are brahmanasya vijanatah. The one has experienced the Brahma Tattva. जिसने ब्रह्म अनुभव को पाया उसको सारे सुख वगैरह उसमें इंक्लूडेड है. लाइक 2000 नोट इफ यू गॉट मीन्स 500, 200, 100, 50, 20, 10, 5 सारे उसमें इंक्लूडेड है. Just like you got the seed, then sow it properly, you will get the branches, trunk, branches, leaves, fruit, everything. See, very, very clear about it. That logically, if somebody can get digested of this point, then he will not go for any retailed ananda of Shabda, Sparsha, Prasagandha to the Indriyas and get frustrated. If one deeply understands this, he'll go only for Brahmananda. And remember, logically having proved that, we have to convince ourselves that in the obtainment of Brahma Ananda through Brahma Jnana, all Anandas are included in it. Therefore, let us go for it. You know, nowadays the whole world is on the package things only. Everything is package. Again, the package, the tour operation package. अर्लियर टूर ऐसा होता था कि आपको ट्रैवल दे देंगे, एकोमोडेशन और खाना और साइट सीइंग आपकी मर्जी. स्लोली ऐड हो गया. हम ट्रैवल के साथ वी आर गिविंग यू एकोमोडेशन, बट द फूड एंड द ट्रैवल द साइट सीइंग यू हैव टू डू. Slowly the third thing came, traveling, accommodation, food will provide, sightseeing you plan. So suddenly the fourth thing में ऐड हो गया, we only will take you, we'll only make you give you the accommodation, खाना भी हम करेंगे अरेंज और साइट सीइंग भी हम ही कराएंगे, गाइड वगैरह है, बस पैसे दे दो. पैकेज टूर. Is it not? Everything, you know, the dinner set. Earlier, पतीले वगैरह का प्लेट अलग अलग बिकता था, but slowly concept came, पूरा डिनर सेट दे दो. So the rice bowl will be there, सब्जियों का बोल होगा, दाल का भी होएगा, खाने के प्लेट्स होंगे, उस पे छोटे स्नैक्स के लिए छोटे प्लेट में होंगे. Then serving spoons are there, the eating spoons are there, the napkins also there, including tablecloth. Dinner set. How was that exciting period of 1980s, 75? हर लोग भागते थे डिनर सेट खरीदने को. डू यू रिमेम्बर दोज डेज? मेरे को तो ऐसा याद होता है. Because it is including all. So this Brahma Prapti is like the package tour. So in that, to precisely say, all anandas without any misery, which you get in the nidra. All anandas without any trace of misery, which we get in the swapna. All the anandas which we get without misery, even a trace, in the Jagrada Avastha, Maya ye sab usme hai. See, to catch this basic point, how much struggle we are going through, and before catching this main point, in how much of delusion we are there, that we have to struggle only for the retail happiness through the faculties and objects. ध्यान से सुना इस बात को, very careful, very consciously. How much in delusion we are struggling for small little pleasures through the indriyas, wherein when we discover the Brahma Tattva permanently, all the ananda, all will be experienced by us. बाकी विषयानंद निद्रा आनंद परमानेंट नहीं होता. How many hours you can sleep? At the most 2 hours till the class is over. How much time you can have your rasagulla, rasa, sandesh or any of the sweet? 5 minutes बाबा. ज़्यादा खाओ तो शुगर बढ़ेगा, फिर दुखी दुख. See, these are all called as the deep delusions, born out of non-thinking. If you think, we come out of delusion and we take up right decisions. That is why the Shastra Jnana and contemplation on that, to come out of the delusion of involving in the wrong things, which are promising the Sukha, giving only the Dukkha. This is the main thing we have to achieve. You and I also, 3 years we are studying Shastra. If it requires 30 more years, we'll spend. But we have to come to this clear understanding beyond delusion, that what we are seeking is continuous, constant, permanent Anandam that is there only in the Brahma Vastu, not in the Vishyas. Clear? We are understanding it to little extent in the class, but बाहर जाते हैं फिर, this knowledge is very weak, forgotten, then all the vasanas, the routine, the habits which were there before coming to class, again they just overpower, then we are back to square one. I'm just telling the how we are, we have to understand what's happening within and around us, how we have to manage, though it's not a topic of the subject of the topic discussed. It's not the topic we are discussing, but it can be a inclusive topic. सब मिलकर समझो तभी पूरा बात समझ में आता है ना, इसलिए. So here in this next paragraph, this sentence of कि अस्मा ये what do you call कि सोष्णुते सर्वान कामान सह ब्रह्मणा, that is being discussed, that's being explained. We have to be little keen, little subtler, little what do you say, purer and unbiased to catch the point here. थोड़ा सा मुश्किल होता है, बट कोशिश कर पाते हैं ना, तो बात समझ आने बाद इतना बड़ा चैन का सांस हम ले सकते. अभी सांस फूल रहा है बेचैनी के कारण, कि मुझे ये पाना, वो पाना, ये रखना, वो रखना, इसका बचाना, उसका बचाना, बेचैन बेचैन बेचैन. इसके बाद चैन का सांस मिलेगा. इफ दिस क्लिक्स टू अस, chain ka sas means clarity comes to us that there is something having gained which everything is gained. Let me go for it, not for the temporary things having gained which they go away. Again, I'm back to zero level. That was the Shaunaka's Prashna in Mundaka Upanishad. Kasmin विज्ञाते सर्व विज्ञात्म. एक एक जानकर एक एक पाकर मैं तो उब गया हूँ. मुझे एक चीज बताओ जिसको पाने से सब कुछ मिल जाएगा. Same thing is here also. So I'll just read through it but explain detailedly कल के दिन. आज टाइम हो गया. ये च सर्वे कामाः प्रतिनियत अनेक साधन साध्याः आकाशादि कार्य भेद विषयाः एते दर्शिताः. एकत्वे पुनः काम कामित्व अनुभवतिः भेदजातस्य सर्वस्य आत्मभूतत्वात् तत्र कथम युगपत् ब्रह्मस्वरूपेण सर्वान् कामान् एवंविध समष्टुते इति उच्यते. And with all this discussion, answer is only one. सर्वात्मत्व उपपत्तेः. इस एक बात को हमें पकड़ना है. कल या जरूरत पड़ी तो एक और दिन हम एक का 10 बार बोलकर इस बात को पकड़ने का ट्राई करेंगे, बिकॉज दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. कथम सर्वात्मत्व उपपत्तिः इति आह, all that thing. So, just for the mental preparation and consolation, the explanation is what? Definitely, it is impossible for one being through his various sense faculties to indulge in all the sense aspects at one go. It's impossible. Okay, banta nahi ho baat. Because there are 10 sweet dishes are there and one tongue is there. You can't gulp all of them in mouth one go. अगर opposite वाले भी है मानो, the sweet dishes also are there, नमकीन also are there. How can you enjoy both of them simultaneously? Okay, पागल बंदा करता है वो. So to the ears, music. How many you want? Western, classic, Indian? अरे, you can't enjoy simultaneously, Saha. And you can't enjoy both eating and music together. Is it not? This is what the logical impossibility. But there is higher logical impossibility. क्योंकि बताओ, that is what the whole essence. कि the bhogya vastus be attentive. The bhokta. These are the two things. No. Imagine truly that you are the self of both of them. Then what will happen? The notion, the delusion that through the contact of the subject and object, the sukha coming, that goes away. Then what remains? That Vaya, I myself am Ananda Rupa Atma. I myself, by dividing into the Bhokta Bhogya, I am enjoying as a Bhokta the reflected Ananda in me, the Bhogya. That realization comes. I know it is not caught by you, but tomorrow I'll explain it. That is already said. Anna Anna रूप में जो बता दिया है, like a rasagula is in the plate. So I am the bhokta. It's a bhogya vastu. So what is my notion? Notion is when that bhogya vastu lands on me, the bhokta, the tongue, then there will be sukha or bhoga. Actually, it's a delusion. The first delusion is that thinking that I am not a happy being, I am a miserable. Second delusion is I have to become happy by indulging in this object. That notion goes away. That abstraction goes away. The moment the notion abstraction goes away, suddenly something clicks, which is so difficult and tough. What something clicks, that ananda to gain which I am as a bhokta running behind the bhogya vastus. That ananda is me alone. The आनंद का स्वरूप ही मैं हूं, मेरा ही आनंद, मेरा ही स्वरूप आनंद है. That clicks. Once that clicks, then the struggle of contact between Vishaya is not required to be happy. That realization is called as Brahma Ananda. Brahma Ananda is a jnana that I am Ananda Swarupa only. That I need not feel miserable through the Jiva Bhava, Upadhi Tadatmya, and run toward the things, beings for the happiness. The delusion goes away. Not that he will be served all the things, he will gulp gulp gulp. ऐसा नहीं होता. एक्चुअली उसमें क्या है ना, आनंद का सही निर्वचन मिलता है हमको. और उस निर्वचन में क्या पता चलता है? आई एम दैट आनंद स्वरूप. Thereafter, the delusion of Vishaya Ananda goes away. That is the meaning of Sarvan Kaman Saha Ashrute. Very, very, that's what I said. It is tough to catch it. If somebody is evolved enough to catch this one point, the chain ka saas, the full relaxation. Now no more of struggling to get an object of enjoyment, suffering while enjoying with the fear of losing it, really suffering when it is lost. Because it is going to be lost. All that nonsense is gone. That is why उपनिषद पढ़ने के लिए जनरली भी और हर दिन में अलग का दिमाग हमारा तैयार करके लाना पड़ता है. अब तक तो last 3 years we are only struggling to come out of sleep, to come out of distraction, to try to be regular, to listen. यार लड़ाई चल रहा है जिंदगी में 3 साल. From now onwards, we will know now the Upanishads conveys a sublime knowledge. So with the preparation of the mind, intellect with its purity and subtlety, again when we go through, browse through, listen again, this time a better and higher understanding will come. What is required ultimately is the correct and complete and authentic understanding about what we are seeking and where is it available and how to go about it. So these things tomorrow we will discuss. Then what is the meaning of ahamannam, ahamannadahagga shloka kritu? It's a great topic. I want to go slowly. So if they take 3 or 4 days, doesn't matter. Let it take but completely let us study this with Bhagwan's Bhashya. So when we come tomorrow, the two things covered will be one, this how all these are simultaneously experienced. That will be discussed thereafter. What is the meaning of Kamanni Kamarupyaru Sancharan? Then what is the meaning of Eta Samagayanaste Hahu Hahu? And the last one, Aham Annam Admi Suvarna Jyoti ही एक एक चीज थोड़ा बढ़िया सा है समझने सुनने के लिए. That we'll see in a 3 or 4 days time. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnamevavashishate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramarshibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti MAATRE Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu.